And we're back. So, yes, Kelariis, as you wake up and hurriedly go through your backpack to find your things missing, you find a piece of paper. You will see before you now. It is probably about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay. I'm gonna go wake up Arya and V.
Okay.
At 6 in the morning.
Arya and V, you are
I'm
woken at
sorry.
6 o'clock in the morning. Well, Arya is already awake.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
V mutters something.
Great. Well, what do we do now? Good plans, guys.
V, you said nobody saw you, right?
I didn't think so.
Okay.
Well, clearly someone recognized her.
What's up with the X, by the way, Ferrous?
Oh,
Is it
it's
just like
it's like a kiss.
Kisses.
this motherfucker.
Kiss.
So mad.
I like to think that Kelariis doesn't know what it means.
Yes.
Amazing. Just like, what is this X here for?
Is this the start of their name?
They tried to sign it, you know, with an X.
Yeah. God, haven't you ever signed a
Actually-
letter before?
Honestly, probably none of the three of you know what that means.
Sweet.
Huh?
Like, what is this? Is it a code?
Is it a
something?
warning?
Fuck the warning, I'm getting that
Wake
rod
up
back.
Grim and Vondal, and that's a kiss.
That's a kiss.
What?
What do we do? We need that rod.
Yeah.
This person
The thing
clearly
is
knows who I
that-
am.
The thing is, if we take it back now, they'll probably just come back for it.
Yeah, it'll just be a game of cat and mouse. Well, we should at least figure out who this person is, I guess.
There must be someone of Palor's church, right?
I guess?
Also, they're wrong. It's more like we're using Velt because we want that staff for ourselves.
Hmm.
It's clear from the way the letter is worded that they don't know your full intention.
Right. More up-to-date security. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
It means that it's probably not in the cathedral.
Oh, there's a word missing from that. Hold on.
Pfft.
It's only with, but
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I kind of filled that in. It's fine. Okay. I don't know what to do about this. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Mm.
Should we maybe take it to Velt to see if he might have an idea of who?
Yeah, that might be a good idea. And just to tell him that we have lost the staff.
He's gonna be so mad at us.
Hmm. Well, I guess I better go try to find Cassian. Actually, should we wait? Oh no, Vondal and we knew Vondal and Grim were getting back pretty late, right?
Yes.
They're
We
probably
should
still
probably
very
let
asleep.
them sleep for a bit.
We've been asleep for 5 hours.
Yeah.
We'll let them sleep for a little bit. I guess maybe try to find Cassian.
Okay.
Yeah, we should maybe head to Cassian's house because we might not be able to find Velt on our own.
I mean, unless she's here. I don't think she's here.
At 6 a.m. I doubt it.
Mm-mm.
So you three are headed to Cassian's.
Can we like slip a note under Vondal and Grim's door so they know where we've gone at least?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you guys, I've said before, you guys essentially have infinite paper and writing materials.
Sweet.
Could we sell the infinite paper for infinite money?
Wow.
You fuck. Anyway,
Nice try.
right, we leave a note under the door and we're off.
Okay. You travel.
The guards might not be out yet. Maybe they are. I don't know. I'll. By the way, I leave the rope in the room.
Yeah. Okay.
Just specifying that right now.
Yep. Good. Yeah, you travel out into through the square. There are like a number of guards, sort of who seem to be sort of part of a late watch, morning watch, something along those lines. But they don't seem to be sort of like actively looking for people, and they like the few people that you see on your way to Cassian's seem to be just like people who are setting up shop in the early morning. Some of them who clearly don't live where they work. But the guards don't seem to give you sort of like a second look. And yeah, after a short period you arrive at Cassian's house.
I hope Cassian won't mind us waking her up this early in the morning.
I get the feeling she's an early riser, but yeah, that's a good point.
I guess we knock on her door.
Yeah.
Faster than you would expect, the door is opened.
Wow.
Good morning, Cassian.
Good morning.
We have a bit of an issue, and we kind of need to speak with Velt about it as soon as possible.
She opens the door wide and gestures you inside.
Yes, we go in.
You go inside. In the room you were in previously, where basically there was a table and some chairs. The table and chairs have been pushed to one side. Sitting on a mat in the middle of the floor is Velt. He appears to be meditating.
I kind of don't want to interrupt him, but I kind of want to interrupt him.
You enter and sort of like you stand there for a few moments, and Velt sort of just like stops what he's doing, looks up, and says, "What exactly is the problem?"
We should probably hand over the notes.
Yeah, I was like, can I just show him the note?
Yes. I'd like you all to roll me insight checks.
Oh, for fuck's sake, alright.
Come on, guys.
There's you notice a reaction, Arya, that you've mostly come accustomed to seeing in yourself and occasionally in Vondal, where there is almost a pulse in his temple for a few moments, and he appears to be very subtly gritting his teeth. At which point he calmly folds the letter before placing it on the floor and saying, "So what is the plan?"
We were wondering if you would know who the letter is from, since they seem to know you.
I could make a guess.
So what does the X mean?
Yeah, that's another important question.
He looks at you with a sidelong look and sort of says, "I don't think the X is important."
Amazing. We still don't know.
You still don't know.
Search continues. No.
He says, "You've been to the cathedral, yes?"
I did.
Yeah.
But you all have.
Well, you all. Yeah. I guess so.
Momentarily.
You recall that when I was there, I had an exchange with a woman.
Yes.
That woman is Catherine Voss. She is... I suppose the closest thing you would call her is an assistant to the chaplain. She is, much like Cassian is to me, my understudy. Catherine, I suppose the kindest way to put it is Audrell's redemption case.
What does that mean?
Rumour has it that Catherine was a pickpocket, to put it lightly, before encountering Audrell. Instead of having her arrested, Audrell took pity on Catherine. And he gave her a second chance. I would not be surprised if she still had some of her talents. Although, from the tone of this letter, I expect she is operating far beyond the orders of our most esteemed chaplain.
It's also a little bit hypocritical if she tells me to keep my hands to myself while she steals things from us. He says with a massive pout.
Yeah. Yeah, he... Velt looks at you and says, "It is not unknown for those who follow the paths of order and system to be more than a little hypocritical. Your friend the dwarf is no exception."
How dare!
Vondal does what he can.
No, but he hasn't turned us.
He turned a blind eye to your theft.
Because he cares about me.
Yet
Likes
he would
order, but
He would
You
judge
want to see
another.
me in prison.
He would judge another more harshly.
Anyway, that's not the issue.
Volt looks at Kelariis and say, one might say that is the whole issue.
You could say that, but regardless, Vondal is... He is a good man, and I trust him.
Very well. It is a difficult situation that we find ourselves in. No doubt Catherine has kept the recovery of the staff to recovery of the baton to herself. She no doubt has informed Aeverelle that it has been returned, but the circumstances of which she will most likely keep to herself.
It says that it's in a place with more up-to-date security. Know where that
Yes.
could be?
I do not know. Perhaps somewhere that employs technology or some advanced magics to keep things secure. I do not think you will be able to waltz into wherever it is that she has stored it quite as easily as you did with the cathedral.
Well, I guess the first step is finding out where that is, or where that could be.
Velt closes his eyes for a moment and sort of places his hands together and focuses. Thinks to himself for a few moments before he says, there are people in this town who may know things about security and the like. People who may be able to provide you with better information than I can.
Who would those people be? If you have names.
He basically turns to Cassian and gives Cassian a signal. Cassian steps out of the room and comes back a moment later, basically with a basically like a square wooden peg, essentially, that has like carvings on the side. And he indicates for Cassian to hand it to you, which she does. Kelariis, she hands it to you, and he basically says, "Show that to Nordstrom in the town square, and he will almost certainly have information for you. And if not, he will certainly know who to direct you to."
Alright. Do I recognize that name?
You do. He was the weapon merchant you spoke to.
Oh, he was a weapon guy, right.
Of course, the shady guy.
Lovely fellow.
Hey, let's not go calling anybody shady.
Shut up, you're not here.
Neither are you.
Touche.
Well. This is...
A big help.
That is one way to put it, yes.
He looks up from where he was sort of staring at the floor, still sort of in thought, and he picks up the piece of paper and goes to hand it back to you and says, "Be cautious of Catherine. She may seem meek, but she is clever. She has had me sussed for quite some time. I would not consider her threats to be idle. She may have spared you this time, but I doubt she will do it a second.
Yeah, if we keep rolling like shit on those perception checks.
I'm not particularly afraid of her threats, but I'll keep your warning in mind. Thank you.
Is there any way that she could look through my magic? Like, does she have any ways that she could, like, see through my magic? Because I thought I was being stealthy.
He thinks to himself and says, She has certainly developed some magical ability under Audrill's guidance. I do not think she is that capable, however. She is cunning, I will give her that much, but I expect you were perhaps not as stealthy as you think you were. Is there anything else?
I think for the
Think so.
moment, no.
He moves to stand and he says, well, if you will excuse me, now that our meditation has been interrupted, I must attend to my own tasks.
Sorry for
Mic
interrupting.
noises.
Sorry.
He sort of inclines his head and says, no, it was correct of you to bring this to me. I wish to see the Batons restored as much as any other.
Well, we'll see to it if it happens. Well, I guess we'll take our leave there then.
You turn to leave, and you turn around, and Cassian already has the door open for you.
Jesus, Cassian.
Of course.
Cool.
Best NPC you've ever made.
Thanks, Cassian. Bro nod at Cassian. There we go. We haven't
Yes.
done that
It's
in a
been
while.
so long since we've had
Oh my
know.
god, you're right.
We have not been keeping up with our quota.
I know. I realized that the other session. I was like, damn,
Yep.
we haven't done that in a while.
Cassian doesn't respond. Cassian just watches you go as you nod.
Cassian did give no fucks.
Cassian is too logical for a bro.
Anyway, we should head to the town square.
Okay.
Yeah.
You head to the town square. It is 6:30 in the morning. Nordstrom is nowhere to be seen.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Right,
is
it's
kind of
too
early.
early. Should we just go back to the tavern for the moment? Or
I think we should just wait around here, I guess.
here's the thing, I realized I have a spell, but I didn't prep it, and I'm really upset.
Oh.
Ordinarily, I would perhaps let you go back, but seeing as this has caught you by surprise, I'm going to say no.
I mean, that's fair.
Okay. Oh, I can actually add a character to your NPCs list.
Which face? I knew it was that lady in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Catherine Voss.
What a mother.
So.
Yeah, I hope I don't have to end up fighting her, but I'll fight her if I have to.
Kelariis will fight if necessary.
You won't.
This surprises no one.
No, you won't.
Okay. You wait some time. Probably at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, you see basically some stirrings in a side alley, and basically the mobile stand that was occupied previously by Nordstrom. His cart full of weapons and gear is pulled out by Mr. Brick, the giant half-orc. And Nordstrom walks alongside and appears to be arguing with Brick about something, in so much as the extent as one man getting quite irate and saying things to another man who is not responding and is just pulling a cart can be an argument. But yeah, and sort of as Mr. Brick puts the cart down, Nordstrom sort of turns and begins to start unloading things that Mr. Brick is handing him. He notices you guys. He sort of offers a wave, sort of like are you looking for me? Hi.
Well, I guess we walk up to this guy.
I was gonna say, a very quick step back to when we were waiting. How are we gonna bring this up? Like, how are we gonna...
Well, didn't Felt just say show it to him?
Yeah, but... I mean, I guess so. Okay, yeah, fuck it. It was
Who
more
cares
just like, if we have to explain what's
repercussions?
going on, it's not like I'm gonna be like, hey, so we stole this thing and it got stolen back from us. You wanna help us figure out where it is?
Okay.
No, we should probably not say that.
It's okay. Wing it, it's fine.
Bob offers you a small wave.
I guess we'll walk over there.
Okay. You walk up to a stand and says, my second favoured customers again. How can I help?
Why are we your second favorite?
Do you ask that?
Sure.
Fuck's sake, Arya.
Yes, asking the important question.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Well, he sort of says, well, you haven't got my favourite customer with you today.
Ah, yes.
I see.
This is a fair point.
The gnome.
See, people like me.
I feel like...
People like you when you give them gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They don't like. He doesn't like you, Grim. He likes your money.
And your sense of humour.
Amazing.
I mean, that's fair. That's pretty much why Grim likes people, too. The
Their
gold.
money and their sense of humor.
Why does he like you then?
He doesn't. No, he just wants me for my body.
True.
Oh,
Carry on.
He got one glimpse of that ass.
Wow.
Worth its weight in gold.
Oh boy.
Jeez.
Oh god.
Anyway.
Anyway. Well, we were looking for something a little less physical, more along the lines of information this time. And I guess I'll pull out the peg that Cassian gave me.
Okay. He, as you produce the peg, his eyes widen. And he turns to Mr. Brick and says, Mr. Brick, leave the merchandise for today. I think we're going to be otherwise occupied.
Okay.
Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and he sort of bows his head and then indicates back towards the side road that he came from, and he says, if you'd like to follow me.
Sure.
This is not sketchy at all.
It's a good thing Vondal isn't here.
It's fine. Vondal doesn't know what's going on. He's fast asleep, enjoying his rest.
He is. Okay. The three of you follow Bob round into the side alley, where he leads you under a small undercutting into the side of a building, which you sort of it seems to have some sort of moisture runoff from somewhere that continues to sort of drip into the alleyway, and you're not entirely sure what it is, so you kind of try to avoid the drips. And he opens up a small wooden door and sort of leads you inside. Kelariis, you sort of have to duck as you come inside into this small room.
Amazing.
Where you notice that basically there is a small boy sitting in the room that you have seen before. And Nordstrom turns to the boy and he says, "Run along, there's a good lad. Got some business to conduct." And the boy very quickly just gets up and leaves through the door that you've just come in through. And he says, "Well, first things first, might I inquire how you came across that?"
I'm assuming he's talking about the peg.
Yes.
Okay. We were given it by some associates of ours. We were told that... Well, we were told to show it to you, and that you would likely be able to aid us.
Well, with that I should certainly think so. He looks you up and down and says, "You aren't aware of what it actually is that you're holding, are you?"
Nope.
That, my friends, is a Thieves' Guild favour.
Oh,
Lovely.
well, alright then, fair enough. Okay, Vondal,
Yeah, it's a good thing Vondal's not here.
Yup.
Very good thing.
It's okay, I'm already a thief.
Oh.
He says, "What exactly were you hoping to know?"
Well, simply put, we're looking for something that was taken from us, well, I guess at some point during the night or early this morning. And we have information telling us that it's somewhere with, what was the exact wording?
There's
More
security
up-to-date security.
Yeah. And the cathedral.
Do you have any idea what words like
So,
that would be?
let me get this straight. You want to steal from a thief?
I want to take back
Yeah.
what rightfully belongs, well, essentially to me. To me, quote unquote.
He looks at you for a moment and says, "Right, probably better off that I don't know. May I see the article in question?"
Wait, what?
The note.
Oh.
Ah. Here's the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hand him the letter.
I do.
He looks it over and says, not a hand I recognise, and not exactly in the style of the associates that I keep, shall we say. This certainly wasn't one of our jobs.
We have reason to believe it wasn't.
Yes, quite. Well, as for up-to-date security, well, it's a fairly ambiguous term, but I do know something. I know that certain members of the upper classes have been worried about a spate of burglaries, strictly business transactions, you know. However, they have invested in some gnomish technology. I believe they call it a safe.
A safe.
Oh my god.
Is it because it keeps things safe?
One would suspect, yes.
Oh my god.
High-tech metal contraptions, very clever, requires certainly an expert hand to break into, no simple locks to pick, no puzzles to solve, and very often protected by magical wards, alarms, and things like that. If you're planning on taking this item back, it's not going to be easy, I will tell you that much.
Well, easy or not, it's something that
We have to do
will
so.
happen one way or another.
He sort of nods and says, well, I suppose there might be a way you could find out more. After all, the upper classes, they do love to gossip, you know. Well, I'll tell you as much as I know. I know that Lady Arthel is holding an exhibition of art. She's got quite the grand opening tomorrow night. I know a lot of people will be there, and certainly there will be a lot of talk. And I know for one that she is one of the ones who has invested in such security upgrades in the recent few months. Other than that, I can't really tell you a lot. Other than the Othels are, well, extremely rich.
Well, it's a good as clue as any. More than we had.
Do you know of any others who might have this sort of technology?
He pauses and thinks for a moment and says, amongst the others, the only ones I know who have gone quite that far are the small brooks, but
Small brooks.
they're out-of-towners, you might say. They live on an estate. I'm not sure that they would consider that to be the most secure location.
Do you suppose the church itself might have?
The church? Goodness, no. They give too much money away to the poor to be able to afford something of that level.
Hmm.
Why do you have an interest in the church? If you don't mind my
Well,
asking.
It was mentioned in the note. I just wanted to
Yes,
know.
but he can't infer context from the note.
That's fair.
I believe we'll keep that our secret for now.
Fair enough, fair enough. Let's just say, if you happen across any artifacts from the cathedral, I know some people who'd pay rather handsome sums to acquire them.
Let's
We're
take
not looking to
anything we don't
steal
need.
anything. Yeah, we just want what is ours. And technically, she's not wrong.
Yeah, that is true.
Let's just say that the theft would be a matter of opinion, but we'll leave it at that.
I don't suppose you have anything that would help us break into one of these safes that you mentioned?
That I may, although it would require a skilled hand to use properly, although I'm sure you could certainly attempt to make use of it.
If it's something that could potentially help, I wouldn't mind taking a look. Or hearing about it, at the very least.
I'll dip into my special supplies. The Bob turns around and basically opens up a small, well, I say small, probably about waist high chest that contains a bunch of things. They seem to mostly be sort of like work overalls and smith's tools. There's like a whetstone and a hammer and things in there. But he opens the box, clicks something inside the lid, closes the lid, and then opens it again, and half of the chest lifts away with it, revealing a hidden compartment underneath it, which contains a set of tools that you recognize as thieves' tools. Things like lockpicks, small knives and weights for unlocking doors and locks. And he also produces from a small section in the side a scroll. A scroll, in fact, of Dispel Magic. Which I very quickly need to look up. Dispel Magic.
Well, that came in handy before, so that's always kind of a nice thing to have regardless.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just looking to see who you know can use it. Everyone in your party can use it, yes.
Yeah.
Well, everyone except
Party.
everyone except Arya, actually. Arya and Grim can
Wow.
use it.
It's okay. I would probably leave it up to V or Kelariis anyway.
It's a 3rd level Dispel Magic, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he produces a scroll of Dispel Magic. And he says, I can certainly provide you with some of these tools for the right price.
What's the right price?
Yeah.
He holds up like a small box with assorted lockpicks and things in, and he says, for a full set of tools I can do you about 30 gold. And as for the scroll, well, I've had it valued, you know. Things like this aren't exactly easy to come by. And he expects, give me just a second whilst I find out what a 3rd level spell scroll is worth. A 3rd level spell scroll. Wow, this is a really long page. A 3rd level spell scroll. He says, I'd be willing to part with it for somewhere in the region of 140 gold.
Jesus.
Well,
That's highway robbery.
What we're gonna do is highway robbery.
Actually, I think you'll find it's breaking and entering, followed by petty theft.
Well, I'm willing to buy the scroll.
I'm willing to pay for the thieves' tools. probably not going to be the one to use it, but I'll pay for it.
Seeing as it is a sleight of hand check, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be you.
Nope.
Might be Arya, actually.
LOL.
You've got the best decks.
I do.
Cool.
It's too bad we don't have Grim here. It's the first time I've ever said that.
To be fair, we have it, but like... Well, my gold is steadily dwindling because that... Personal...
Say, V, give me an insight check.
Oh boy. He's overpricing this shit.
Okay.
Oh,
You-
well, of course he is.
No, you exchange a look with Arya that Arya says that the look in Arya's eyes says, "I wish Grim was here."
Wow.
V is shocked and scared.
Who is this person and what have they done with I?
V knows that you're serious.
I guess I just give Arya like a questioning look, like, that's unusual. Anyway, I'll
Turns
pay
around,
for
uses the spell magic on Arya.
yeah, I'll buy the scroll.
Okay.
140 gold, yeah?
140 gold. So, with your purchases complete and the exchange of gold, Two Bob turns to you and says, "Will that be all?"
Unless you have any more information that might be helpful to us, I think that you've already done a great deal to aid us.
He turns the favor over in his hands and says, "I'll keep my ear to the ground, and I'll let you know if I hear anything else."
We'd appreciate that, thank you.
"As I appreciate this," he says, shaking the favor.
That's kind of worrying, but okay.
Everything this guy does is worrying.
Okay. He shows you the door.
Cool.
Alright, boys, we're gonna do a art heist now.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go!
Well, you wanted to, like, infiltrate the posh person party.
Hmm.
That's a good alliteration.
Through a very roundabout fashion, we got there.
Yeah.
So,
It's been 84 years.
as Vondal and Grim you guys wake up, you get the note, you head to the town square, you find Kelariis, Arya, and V gathered around in the town centre having a conversation, and you regroup. And with that, we will draw our session to a close.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I can't believe people are cheering for the end of the session.
Well,
I think it was sarcastic.
Yeah, it was.
Also, this has been
I
a
feel
hell
like
of a
we
session.
got more done this session than usual.
Yep.
Considering you only played for 3 hours, you did get quite a bit done. Right,
We didn't faff around like we usually do.
so,
We really didn't.
who would like to go first and tell me some things that they have learned?
We're really bad at rolling sometimes.
True
But
that.
since it led to an art heist, I'm not actually disappointed.
We have to wait forever for that art heist, so it's fine.
If we had
Yeah,
rolled
but-
well, the art heist would not have happened.
True.
Mhm.
This is true.
Yeah, and I got through my disaster.
You did.
Yay.
You didn't get
Very-
caught, even though it was very hard for you to not get caught, and it was designed to be that way.
Oh my god. Yeah. It's a fucking double one on stealth though.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you advantage. Face plants.
I didn't give you advantage. I give you a +2
Oh,
for being
you give me a
barefoot.
bonus. Anyway. Yeah. Not sure what V has learned. V has learned that she's a terrible person.
Well, I'll say for now that V should learn to close doors behind you, because you were very lucky that the guard who turned around to see you rolled very low on his perception check and didn't see the two unconscious bodies behind you when he turned to talk to you.
Oh my god.
Well then.
Yeah, I was thinking of that when he was talking to me, like, he isn't gonna see a body behind me, is he? And I was like...
The worst part is he had advantage and he still fucked it up.
Ah,
Yay!
fuck you, God.
It's not only us who roll like shit.
Yeah,
Nope.
sometimes the
Okay.
enemies do too.
And that's the fun of D&D.
Yeah, so... I think V has a little moral quandary that's not gonna go away anytime soon.
Yeah.
Because she feels pretty bad.
Yes.
She also feels like the town is panicking a little bit, like, oh shit, things has been stolen and stuff, and she's like, no, please, I just want to do the right thing. I liked it more in Renshire when people liked us.
When we were heroes.
See, the happy towns are not necessarily the good ones.
Hmm.
So, yes.
Yeah.
As a player and as a character. Very nice. So, with that completed, is that a story hook finished? Technically you acquired the staff, technically you acquired the rod, but also technically you don't have it anymore, so I'm not gonna give it to you just yet. I'm not gonna give it to you just yet.
Which is weird, because we probably would have got it if we'd acquired it and then lost it next session.
Yes.
Well, it's not gonna make that big of a difference anyway.
No.
Unless it's in the 10,000 region. of
Well,
experience.
no,
Yeah.
it would be a fair chunk of experience, but not anywhere near 10,000 experience. So technically that's two encounters negated, so that would be 485. No, 9.
That's a lot of math.
Hold your horses, boys.
Mavis.
910. 910.
What? That's
More
a
than I
lot.
expected.
Sweet.
Yes.
We've-
So,
Strangely enough, because you actually did things this session.
I know.
I know. So are we at 19,740? Am I correct? Am I up to date with my experience?
I
What
think
was
I
it?
have more than that
Unless I
because of-
missed some
Yeah.
experience somewhere.
No, that's
No,
about right.
Helena, V has more experience than we do because of the end of last session. Because I remember she got extra last time.
Oh, yes, yeah. You get.
Yeah.
You had 225 extra.
Yeah, because you were doing
Because
whatever.
because technically you were in a combat encounter that nobody else was in.
Okay.
I don't know. By my math, that puts us at 18,690.
Alright, well.
$18.6 what, Cav?
690.
Oh, actually,
That can't be right.
That's that's
No,
not right at
they
all.
were-
No.
That's I'm at
Well, I clearly
18
missed something somewhere along the way.
I'm at 18,620 right now.
Right.
Yeah, same.
yeah, 18620 sounds right. And actually, take 100 from that because technically you haven't overcome one of the goals yet.
So
So what should we be at?
What did you just say, Minnie?
No, that's what I'm currently before adding the experience. That's what I'm at.
Okay, so without
So pre-experience, you're on 18,620.
yeah,
Yeah.
so add 810 to that.
okay. So
But I still had
1940.
Do I subtract 100 or?
Yes, you also subtract 100
So 19.
because
430.
technically, whilst you know about it, you haven't overcome one of the goals yet.
Okay,
There we go. I clearly
One
missed some
more time.
experience.
840 or 820? What? How much did we get?
810.
Oh, 810.
810 total, yes.
XP.
Yes, now that that's done, who's next?
I suppose I will go next. It's always me and Helena first, and I actually, for once, kind of know what I've learnt.
Okay.
Yay.
Oh my god.
I know, it's a miracle. I think Vondal has learnt he's got himself in some very, very deep and confusing shit.
Yeah.
Having moral quandaries every single day, and he's only been here, what, 3 days? He's like continuing to realise that this party is constantly causing him to question his morals.
Yes.
Hello.
Because
And
suddenly
your
he's
deity is
got-
probably not going to be best pleased by the choice that
No.
you've taken, particularly as the fact that he gave you a vision in which he warned you that this was going to happen.
I know! He's not happy about this. This is the prop, like, what's the thing? Like, he realizes he's in a situation in which there's a lot of people, like, he's found himself in a group who he's closer to than he's been perhaps to anybody else. And they keep doing wrong, and he knows that it's not for bad reasons. So he wants to be able to support them. But he's also dedicated his life to someone who would condemn them. So
Yeah.
he's not very sure what to do.
Next vision, Torm is going to go for something simple. He's just going to put burning letters in the sky that say, "I told you so."
To be fair, it's
Oh
about
my
time we
God.
started going simple, for fuck's sake. Anyway. And yeah, and as a player, I'm almost learning that we need to, like, make sure we specify, like, important details.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of, like, very small but very important things that we don't pick up on.
Like the robe.
Such as the robe. Or, you know, maybe not leaving Kelariis alone with the thing that we just worked so hard to try and obtain. You know, things like that.
I mean, why? I still blame Cassian for that.
Why would you blame Cassian for that?
Because she was supposed to keep it at her fucking house, and then she didn't.
We didn't
That-
tell her that.
That's not what you conveyed. You conveyed that you wanted it back when it was safe.
And then when it was safe,
Well, I guess
she
we had
stuck it back
different-
to us.
I think we had different definitions of safe.
Yeah.
Perhaps you
Yeah,
should
I
be
think
less
so.
vague.
Right?
Didn't
This is my
clarify.
point. This is my point when I say we need to be more. I think we need to be more specific, and I think that's what we've learned, because we didn't really tell her any of this in a specific way. So as a character, she made her own logical thoughts that it's fairly safe. I'll send it to them. They're probably better at protecting this than I am. But you know, this is the thing. We've just ignored a lot of very small but important details. You know, also I guess including closing doors behind us,
Look.
potentially having a look around before undisguising. You know. Sorry, V.
Well, when was I gonna undisguise?
Somewhere
never.
quiet.
You should still be.
No, not in the middle of the busiest part of town. But no, regardless, like, once again, it's kind of like, I say once again, like, I guess I'm finally picking up on the fact that we need to pay attention to small details, because I've done it in other campaigns as well, where I've just kind of ignored small things that are important that come back to bite us on the ass.
Okay, yeah, you can have your experience. Who's next? Don't make me pick on people.
I guess I'll go. Everyone else is silent. As a player, I had this and now it's like gone. I've learned that we need to be very explicit with what we tell NPCs because apparently we're stupid. And that gets us into rather unfortunate situations.
Not stupid, you just assume that the NPCs are thinking the same thing as you.
I think honestly we misunderstood that part. I think she said like, "Hey, you should be carrying the thing around because you'll be suspicious on the street. People will search you." And we were just like, and we assumed like, "Good point. You should keep it." And then,
We didn't actually say that out loud, and Cassian being the way Cassian is.
Cassian took you literally.
Yeah. So, next time I'm going to explicitly write it out in a full-page paper.
Write an entire thesis on what you want the NPC to do.
I don't think that's quite necessary, and in fact, will make us much less productive than we already are.
No, totally not.
The 1-inch margins.
Yeah. I want it in MLA format.
God damn.
You need to cite your source.
Yeah, fully referenced, please.
I'm sorry, you do not have footnotes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Anyway,
Anyway, this joke has got way out of hand.
as a character,
As a character, Arya has learned that sometimes people make bad decisions under pressure, and that sometimes leads to bad things. That's fine. She's not mad at V. I mean, shit, it's a pretty bad situation to be in. And she's kind of concerned with all the sneaking around they're doing, only because she doesn't really want to end up in jail. So she's kind of wary about all this crap, but
especially as it has nothing to do with you.
yeah, like, this is not really helping me. But oh well.
Okay.
That's pretty much it, I guess.
Cool. Yeah, you may have your experience. Next.
Well, I guess I could go as a player.
Thunder keys.
I guess
It's always Thunder keys.
as a player, I would say, well, the NPC thing with clarifying stuff, well, is the obvious thing, but otherwise, I'm not quite sure what else there is. And well, as Grim, well, Grim doesn't know what's gone down yet, so
No, not quite yet. Assuming that you've had the conversation and you know what's going down, what has Grim learned?
That's a good question. I feel like he didn't expect it to like go down any like this in like such a sneaky fashion. He kind of expected more of them kicking in the door kind of retrieval. So he's not quite sure what to make of it.
Yeah, you're not as a military man. You're not quite used to this kind of sneaking around.
Yeah. And yeah, what else? Well, and I guess learned about the glass blowing from Kelariis.
Yeah, that was quite a surprise.
We did know about like Vondal smithing, although we never actually got around to using it.
I can watch him do it.
Yeah, you've had a bonding moment with Vondal as well.
Yeah.
That may
Yeah, 4 hours,
perhaps that's
4
something we can have after the session. You guys can have your bonding moment
Maybe.
when everyone else is gone.
And I think that's it. Yeah, well, yeah, the bonding moment and that. It's still kind of a mess, this whole situation.
Mhm. Cool. Yeah, you may have your experience. Last but not least.
Well then, I guess starting as a player first, kind of echoing what everybody else has been saying, the whole clarification of what's going down with the NPCs. Gonna keep that in mind from now on, because that was... I wondered if that would have played out differently. Probably would have, but... And I guess other than that, as a player, it's kind of just... I am going to be so paranoid about things like this. And I guess even Kelariis would be at that point. But this whole situation is just so... It's kind of out of Kelariis' field in a sense, because it is a lot of kind of sneaking and trying not to be noticed, whereas she usually kind of just go in and do the things that she needs to do.
Yeah, you can't run in and smite everything in sight like you usually do.
Unfortunately, I mean I could, but it would get us in a lot of trouble. So
Yeah, it would be slightly more illegal than what you're doing now.
I was gonna say slightly. That seems a lot more illegal.
Like
Yeah.
if there's
'Cause
no
that's just
witnesses,
murder.
like, no witnesses, and you're good.
There's no witness. I mean, I
Fuck
think
off, Rip.
the entire party's a witness at that
That's
point.
not even neutral. That's more evil.
Yeah. You've just skipped neutral and gone straight into neutral evil. Well done.
Can't believe.
Like-
But I mean, to her, she still doesn't really see it as a crime in the way that, for example, Vondal probably does, because to her, they are the ones that stole something from, Trithirin and things like
Yeah.
that. So it's still one of those things, and I'm out of character a little bit surprised that Vondal so readily agreed, but I'm also very grateful. In terms of like the silversmithing bit. I just wanted to
This
say
is
that.
the illegal bit.
Yeah, that's true. This is pretty tame.
Help reforge a magic artifact. It may
Yeah.
not be to his god, but it's
yeah,
a magic artifact dedicated to a deity who at least is good.
Yeah. Even if he is constantly just trying to undermine everything that your order does.
Yeah, at least he's not doing it
It's-
just to spite him.
Yeah.
Doing it all just to spite, because
But yeah, I don't know. Kelariis is kind of like on the border of panicking because of the staff being, the rod being stolen. Especially because of her kind of personal fear of fucking things up. But, that's fine.
Yep.
This is fine.
And you definitely didn't have a foreboding vision beforehand that was then exactly what turned out to have happened.
No, it's fine. Yeah, no, this is great.
That definitely doesn't make you nervous.
Whoops. No, it's fine. This is great.
Mm.
It's a great old time.
Cool. Well, you may have your experience. And to end with a quote from Kelariis, sometimes it's okay to break the law. Just kidding.
Wow.
So yeah,
Mom,
Thank-
no.
thank you
It's
all.
fine.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for playing. And even though it's been a short one, we will see you next time.
See ya.
Whenever that is.
Bye-bye.
Whenever that is.
Whenever that is.
Whatever that is.
Bye.